So let's go. So we have a new problem. So the problem is to divide the rational expression that they gave us. So we have a 6q plus 2 over q plus 4, and when divided by, difference of the square. We're gonna do the same thing, keep factoring the thing that we can factorize and cancel everything out, but it's a division, so we will first of all multiply us by the inverse of the rational expression that we have. It's not because we have a 36q squared negative 4 or minus 4 that we can it doesn't have any inverse, so it does have an inverse, and that's what we're gonna do right now. Find the inverse so that we can multiply and then factorize it and cancel the terms that can be canceled out. So we're gonna start by putting the 6q plus 2. Even if we do know how to factor it, we're not gonna do it yet. q plus 4. So 36 q squared minus 4 is the same thing as 36 q squared minus 4 over 1. So there is an invisible 1 at the bottom. So in order to get the inverse, we will flip the expression. So the top will be the bottom will be the top. So it's going to be 1 over 36 q squared negative 4. It would have been the same thing if we did had something like 28 a squared plus 4. So the inverse would have been 1 over 28 a squared plus 4. Same thing if we had 24 b squared negative c. The inverse would have been 1 over 34 b squared negative c. So it's the same thing. So if you have the expression this way, so that just means that there is an invisible 1 that they don't put, which is not mathematically speaking a problem, because no need to actually put the 1, but I just wanted to make you aware of the 1 so that you know why I flipped the rational the way that I did flip it, the rational expression the way that I did flip it. So we know that's going to be a 1 over 36 squared minus 4. Therefore, we're going to erase everything and keep developing our rational expression and then factorize it. It's going to be multiplying by 1 over 36 q squared negative 4. So right now we can start factorizing. So we already know that we can factorize the 6q plus 2 by 2, because the 2 is the common number, and the 36q squared minus 4 is a difference of 2 squared. So the difference of 2 squared, we already know how to solve it. So we're gonna get the square root of the first one, the square root of the last one. We add them or we subtract them, and we put the same thing again, but we're just gonna make sure that we keep the sign on the middle. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. So we're gonna firstly start by factorizing the first term by putting 2. That's why we're factoring 2 by 3q, which is 2 by 3q 6q plus 1, because 2 by 1 is 2. We're gonna keep the q plus 4 because we can factorize it any further, and we're gonna factorize the difference of 2 squared. So 36q minus 4. So the square root of 36q squared is 6q, and the square root of 4 is 2. So it's gonna be negative 6q. No, it's gonna be 6q minus 2. Factor 6q plus 2. The reason why we put the 6q negative 2 by 6q minus 2, or the reason why we do have a negative and a positive, is because the middle sign on the exercise that they give us, or the rational expression that they give us, is negative. So we want to preserve the condition for the same negative to be to stay in the rational expression. So in order to keep the negative, so we need to get a positive and a negative. So that's the reason why we choose 6q negative 2 and 6q positive 2. So it's not just by mistake, by luck. So that is the reason why we do stuff. So when we take a look to the expression right now, we can start seeing stuff that looks alike. And if you do see stuff that looks alike, so you just cancel them out, and when whatever you ended up having has in the end is going to be your final answer. So right now we do have a 2 factor of 3q plus 1 and the 6 over the q plus 4 and the 1 over the 6q negative 2 and 6q positive 2. So the terms that are alike, or we already know that 2 factor of 3q plus 1 is the same thing as, I'm gonna write it so you see what I'm talking about. 2 factor of 3q plus 1 is the same thing as 6q plus 1 plus 2 that we had at the beginning, and also same thing as the 6q plus 2 that we have at the bottom. Therefore this can be cancelled out, because 2 by 3q is 6q and by 1 is 2, and it's just exactly the same thing as 6q plus 2. So the thing that we ended up having is a 1 at the top and a q plus 4 at the bottom, along with a 6q negative 2 at the bottom. So this is going to be our final answer after factoring the fraction expression. 1 over q plus 4 and 6q negative 2. So I hope that it was simple for you guys and you guys have been able to understand what I did. But if you didn't, please go back to the lecture note and reread it again, because it's going to be really important on the test more. So I'll see you in the next one.